Hello. So you've probably seen my first video on this channel. If not, it's fine. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the situation now that I've got my 10-minute up post 10-minute verification. It's fine. It's easy. It's just um sharing your phone number with them with YouTube, and everything's fine. The problem that I'm having with getting perfect order isn't just about the stock levels. It's about the whole situation in itself. It We've seen so many like really highly predatory people come into the market since the Paul brothers got involved. They really have messed the market up. The perception right now is that every single Pokemon card in existence has value, and the reality of the situation is most of them don't. I have a small, well, relatively modest collection of cards, and those cards are not worth sweet F all. They have no value at all. Even shiny cards have almost no value. Uh, the fact of the matter is, most cards that are ever printed will never be worth a penny, or more than a penny, a couple of pence. Uh, but the perception right now is you've got to rip and ship. You've got to open as many packs as possible, get those rare cards. When right now, the at least for Perfect Order and most of the Mega Evolutions, which is the sets that I'm sort of looking at right now, uh, the value in them is really, really low. Talking like 170, £180 for a card. I think the best one is like 180 or something for a Charizard. Uh, could be wrong on that. Could have changed since then because these prices are constantly evolving, like evolving size. No. Um, in all of these sets, like there is just the value of the cards is really, really low, but the print runs are. I think the print runs are quite generous for what they're capable of. Like they should be printing more, obviously, I think. Um, my view is that this game should be really, really cheap, not as cheap as Yu-Gi-Oh! Being as cheap as Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't make us any sense at all. Uh, most games should not be as cheap as Yu-Gi-Oh! That I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really harming itself, to be honest. But I think overall there just needs to be a price evaluation and a big reset of Pokemon TCG, because right now it just isn't working. Kids can't get access to the game. And as I sort of alluded to in the first video, if you've not seen, please check it out. It's only 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes of your time to explain a little bit of the context. My job before, my current job, my sort of current thing that I'm up to, um, was teaching kids how to play Pokemon. And kids really are quite resilient and really willing to play the game and enjoy the game. And they'll play with the cheapest cards possible, and they'll absolutely wreck each other and wreck you. I'm a person who's been playing this game for a long time, as I say, and kids love it. Kids love nothing more than like learning how to win and learning, more importantly, I think, how to lose and be a fair loser. Because we will lose sometimes, and more of the point, strategize. But when kids can't even get access to this game, when kids can't even get the cards that they really should be able to get, because people are going onto the shelves literally with a hand swiping everything off the shelf, it doesn't make sense. This whole situation doesn't make sense. Because let's face it, what is a Pikachu purse going to be worth in 15 years? nothing. It's going to be worth nothing. Because realistically speaking, it's worth nothing now. But the packs within it, according to the logic that these people are applying, will be worth more than the original product, which was worth 10, 15, maybe £20. That doesn't make sense. And right now, Pokemon is having some serious issues when it comes to how it's allocating its products. I've seen a lot of talk about this, but not so much of it was convincing. When I looked at it initially, it seemed to me like they were printing enough. They were printing probably more Pokemon cards than they printed in the history of the company, if not on par with what they printed before. But a set that is literally like maybe 2 or 3 months old is going out of rotation, out of print run rather, um, according to inside sources. That doesn't make sense. That really doesn't make sense. Like, what is going on there? Uh, it's the kind of thing that makes you think like there is some kind of manipulation going on. But as I do genuinely believe, I think it is mismanagement. I think it's like uh, it's them just essentially, I wouldn't say being incompetent, but it isn't deliberate. Uh, it's them producing the amount of product that's in terms of a scale kind of calculation, to keep it as simple as possible. They thought they would need that amount of product, but these calculations are done probably years in advance. They probably still are not responding to the fact that there is a huge surge in popularity of the game. And as a result, well, we're the ones who get screwed. The people who are trying to get cards for our kids, people who are trying to get cards for ourselves, just for our own collection, for our own personal joy, and people who are trying to run a small business and are not getting thousands of elite trainer boxes and taking them and reselling them at a 70% profit or up to 70% profit and all of that kind of nastiness. No, people who are selling single cards for what the market value is. So ultimately, these people don't know the damage that they are doing to hobbyists, to people who've been doing this longer than they probably were even alive. And I hear the argument that some people have put forward. Well, it's how the working class is getting through some tough times. What, by scamming the rest of the working class? That doesn't make sense. I won't get into too much in terms of uh, politics or anything like that, but it really doesn't make sense. Like, you're clearing out shelves and selling back the product to the people who probably need it the most, probably would like it the most, and enjoy it the most, would probably open it. And when it's opened, the value is probably diminished by about 80%. If they had acted ethically, if they had acted fairly, and took a case, bought a case from, say, a local game store or a supplier or something like that, they bought a case of Elite Trainer boxes and they had kept them on the shelf for 5 years. Not even 5 years. It could be 3 or 4 years. 80% or 60 to 80% of the product that has ever been produced will have been quote unquote destroyed, so to speak. It will no longer exist. The cards that they have on their shelf that they stored away, the elite trainer boxes, the booster boxes, things like that, they could then do the Rudy from Alpha Investments method and sell it for more. The less the amount of product that is on the market, the more it's worth. So they're taking their profit margins, and this is the thing that really, really frustrates me, because we've seen it before. There's been Facebook posts where a person has bought a shelf, well, more than a shelf actually, multiple shelves, filled a garage with Pokemon Elite Trainer boxes, booster boxes, and everything like that. Then a massive dip in the market happens, and they fire sale all of them. And when they fire sale all of them, they are selling them at a massive, massive loss because they expected immediate profit. We have multiple instances of this happening. Like many, many times this has happened. And when it does happen, everybody goes, oh my god, the Pokemon card game is like completely collapsed. No, the Pokemon card game hasn't collapsed. The Pokemon card game is healthy. People's buying habits are unhealthy. People investing thousands of pounds and expecting an immediate turnaround as if this stuff is liquid gold. It doesn't make sense. Like I say, if this theoretical person had acted ethically, but even just if they were feeling particularly like greedy, or if they had the facilities to do it, to hold a stack of Elite Trainer boxes, like a crate of Elite Trainer boxes, multiple crates of Elite Trainer boxes, just had the product that they wanted and kept it and held it for a few years, the amount of the product that is available on the market would massively drop. And because people are opening it, people are enjoying it, people are getting the singles out of it, like myself. They're consuming the product. It's there to be consumed. It's there to be used. It is a product to most people. If that person had taken whatever volume of it, even if it was a single Elite Trainer box, they would get probably 400, 500 times the amount of money than they did for clearing out a whole store shelf full of silly trinkets that have a Pokemon card in them, or like a couple of boosters, like booster packs, or mass buying everything that's on the shelf. They are going to lose ridiculous amounts of money, and when they do, I will laugh so hard. I wait for the Facebook posts that show, oh, please, I need to quickly sell my collection. My wife is not happy with me because I spent our entire X, Y, and Z credit card on all of these cards. I wait for it and I'll laugh because I'm like, well, yeah, because you're being stupid. You're treating this like it's a high appreciation, like a high value asset when it's cardboard, man. Like the the method of get rich slow, as Rudy says, and I don't want to mention too many times, but I really am inspired by him to actually make this channel, and sort of get into the cardboard sort of empire in a bigger way. I think his method works way better because it is ethical, it is fair, it is taking what is yours and no more than you need. You don't need to buy thousands and thousands of boxes. If they're not on the market, you get what you get, and you get any restocks that are available that nobody wants, and buy out collections and do things this way. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody gets completely like screwed out of product. No kids lose their cards, and overall, like, this method makes much more sense and will get you much more money. Buy less, like way less than what these people are doing. Buy like only what you can afford, and reduce the price of like reduce the spending of all of what you got. Get a sensible amount of product that you know you can afford. Don't max out credit cards and stuff like that. Put it on a shelf. Leave it in relatively temperature control conditions and then sell it 5, 10, 20, 30, whatever years you're comfortable with. That makes sense. That's ethical. That's a good way to approach this. But, of course, people act like fools. People sell as soon as they get a slight whiff in the air that things are going to go south. And when they do, well, people like us will buy their collections quite happily. Uh, except I don't have quite so much money as a lot of these bigger YouTubers that do this sort of method. Mostly, I'm looking at things in terms of the small game. I'm right at the beginning of my cardboard empire journey. I am looking at collections, uh, binders, turning people's collections into a little bit of cash on the side, and I guess mostly just sort of scaling up from there. Uh, a big one to watch for, I think, in terms of interesting things that are going on in the cardboard world that aren't Pokemon, that do feel a lot more fair, is Sorcery Contested Realms. Sorcery Contested Realms is a fascinating game, and it's probably like what Magic was supposed to turn into, if I dare say that. I think it's definitely worth looking into because it's just a really interesting, neat game. And they've just got booster boxes that have been reprinted, and either that or they've just arrived after the tariff nonsense. And the card game is looking really solid. The artwork is absolutely brilliant. I would love to have a whole Pokemon style binder of just the artwork, not even foils, just the commons. Like that would be so cool. It's one that I'm definitely going to get involved in when I have a bit more money. Um, but yeah, I'm ranting now, so I'll stop. Just to sum it all up, I just think people need to check themselves, man. Like they really need to check themselves. It doesn't make sense to like ruin yourself financially for the sake of the idea of possibly making a bit of money. Uh, Not even like actually making a bit of money, like if you're doing high risk investment or anything like that. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. And more to the point, the biggest sort of thing that doesn't make any sense at all to me is taking product away from other members of the public simply because you think that you are entitled to it and reselling it at a higher like a ridiculously high profit for what it is, like a common product. It's not acceptable. People won't put up with it and people won't buy it. And when the restock comes, and it probably will come eventually, people will not buy your shit and they will just simply step away, and you will be stuck with what, 10,000, 20,000, whatever the amount that you spent on these cards is. And because you bought them fifth hand, uh, you bought 5,000 elite trainer boxes from a scammer who bought it from a scammer who bought it from a scammer, which is actually, I think, a lot of what is going on right now. They're all hyping the price up. Well, I bought it for say 75, so it must be worth 135. I have to break even, you know. The when the reprints come in, and I think they will eventually come in, they're going to be stuck with some real heavy bags, man. And I'll laugh. I'll say, "Cool, that's great. You willing to sell that for for below MSRP because you kept it in your basement or whatever. Like, just ridiculous, ridiculous situation. It is one that like it both makes me laugh and it makes me like ridiculously frustrated because I'm like, look, we like small gamers, like we sort of people who actually play the game, enjoy the game, invest in cards and sell the ones that no longer bring us joy, like or ones that like a surplus to our collections. Like we we aren't asking for much. We are asking for the hobby to be left alone. Like we are asking for the Jake Pauls and the Logan Pauls and all of these people and all of the rip and shippers, like the big time rip and shippers who are taking boxes of base set and opening them and getting them immediately graded and all of this stuff. Like, do your thing. Like, go in your corner, stay in your lane. Like, people watch your content. People open like people hope to be that rich. People aspire to that. Like, fine, whatever. But stay away from the new product because the new product, one, has nothing in it of value. So go away. And two, like, we just want to play the game. And the game is, yes, the physical game, but also like we just want to sell people single cards and like at market value or what people are willing to pay for the cards, what it's actually worth. And we're not trying to rip people off for the most part. There are some people who are trying to rip people off, but me personally, I don't see the sense in it. I don't see the sense in ripping people off. Just give people a fair price. People will come to your store as they've come to my store before, and like my eBay store, and overall, like just I just wish the situation was clarified. I wish it would clear up a bit. I wish people would stop constantly hounding our card games for profit. Like, oh, this has to be a high profit item. No, it doesn't. It's cardboard, man. It's just cardboard. Shiny cardboard is for nerds. We are the nerds. We should be allowed to enjoy it. You shouldn't be looking for high risk, high value investment opportunities in these pieces of cardboard. Uh, yes, some cards are old and worth money. Uh, Noah base set Charizard should not be worth as much as it is. A grade 10. That's insane. That's inflationary as hell. I'd much rather have a 151 Charizard because that card is technically playable. So, anyway, thank you for listening.